Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1990 of What You Up To Now, documenting the journey as I originally transitioned in 2017 from the brick and mortar corporate world of businesses to the online world of businesses. I spent decades in corporate America, over a quarter century actually, simultaneously working and building and growing and supersizing my own businesses. And then following my divorce, it's like, okay, what am I going to do now? Because I was old enough to kind of retire, but I didn't really want to just throw in the towel and not do anything anymore. And I love learning, so I thought, okay, I've been curious about the internet since its inception, about 1990, 1991, when my son was born. And I thought, okay, why not hop online and figure out what I can learn and what I can do and how it is similar and how it's different from the offline world and offline businesses. And I was always curious about and believed that as the internet grew up, each business offline should have some kind of a presence. And then social media exploded, and so now a lot of people have a social media presence, although they don't have an online presence. After 2020 and the pandemic, I am curious as to why every business isn't online and doing creative things to make sure that they survive and have the ability to pivot and change quickly, because it proved to us that you never know what's going to happen. You never really know what the future holds, and so you want to be prepared as much as possible. And I was not prepared for a pandemic. I don't think most people were. I definitely don't think the world was prepared. So today I created a couple of pieces of content. I do that every day. I've been doing it every day for, going 5-6 years now. Well, since 2018. I didn't really start doing video and creating content on a regular basis until 2018. And that was when I did 3 annual challenges that year. First annual challenge that I'd done online. I've been doing challenges my entire life. I always challenged myself to do things. It was part of my goal setting process, was to set a challenge, set a goal, and then work toward that. And as I learned and grew and figured out what worked for me and what didn't work for me, I discovered that if I broke things down into little tiny bite-sized pieces, I could make them happen. And if I did something every day, and if I could make it automatic, it became automatic for me to achieve things that I wanted in my life. And so I teach that now, and I share that because if it works for me, I want to share it with as many people as I possibly can to put it to work for them as well. And part of that is a couple of things I did during the pandemic. One was not perfected, but played with this thing called the SOAP framework. It's a framework or a process. A framework is a process, right? It's like a funnel is a sales process. A funnel is a process. So I created, and I didn't create it, I've been using it for decades, but I actually named it something that made it easy to understand, easy to frame, an easy frame of reference, and easy to share and teach. And so right now we're going through in this year's annual challenge, the Get Your Goals annual challenge. We're focusing on relationships this month, the relationship area and aspect of our life. And I use a framework for setting goals and for my life, and that is a 9-part framework that I learned. I learned 7 parts of it from Tony Robbins back in the late 80s, the 1980s, I know. And he got it from Jim Rohn and from other gurus and teachers. But it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, and contribution. And then thank you, pandemic, for helping me to go out and seek out more coaching and more training and more education in the area of confidence and communication. And so I added those 2 areas to my life framework, and I set goals every year and long-term legacy goals based on those 9 things. But this month we're focusing on relationships, and we're doing the O of the SOAP framework today, which is options. So we figure out what is our current story about a goal that we've set for ourselves. And I took the goal of my relationship with myself. So we want a relationship goal, something that we want to improve or change. And I am continuously improving and always wanting to have a better relationship with myself, right? I want to become more self-aware. I want to understand myself better. I want to understand what makes me tick and what motivates me. I want to understand decisions and thoughts and feelings and beliefs that I have, because as I understand and unravel those, I can choose whether they're right for me now and I want to continue having them going forward, or I want to say, hey, that's from when I was 6 years old. I think I can let that go now. Or that's from my marriage, which, it's been over for a long time. Been divorced since 2015, I don't remember. Anyway, long time, right? So Do I want to keep any of that mind garbage? No, I want to let it all go. And that's part of becoming self-aware in my relationship with myself, improving my relationship with myself. So today we're talking about the O in the SOAP framework, which stands for options. We identify our current situation, we identify our desired situation, and that creates this gap between where we are and where we want to be. And the rest of the framework, the O, the A, and the P, are about filling in that and going from where we are to where we want to be. It helps us to map out a trail and a plan to get there. So we're exploring options. We're just brainstorming 10 different possible options to get a better relationship with myself, to go from my current to my desired state of my relationship with myself. That's my goal, is to improve that. And we'll talk about other aspects of that with the A and the P, of course. But today we're just brainstorming, what could I possibly do to improve my relationship with myself? I have not done that yet. I have not started. I'm going to do at least 15. I put the form in my handy dandy notebook or journal that I always keep when I do an annual challenge. Why? Because if our life is worth living, it's worth recording and writing down and taking note of, and being able to go back and say, oh my God, I've been working on this silly belief for 20 years. Maybe it's time to just forget about it and let it go and move on and replace it with a different belief. Our idiom for today coincides with this, and it is to put yourself first. And this idiom always reminds me of, you have to love yourself before you can love anyone else. And so I shared the origin of that, which actually comes from the Bible. It's in the Bible, Matthew 22:34-40. And 5 reasons to put yourself first, which also includes, why do you put your business first? Why do you make that a priority? Why do you make yourself a priority? Why do you make your business a priority? If your business isn't a priority for you, it's not going to be a priority for the other people involved in your business. And it's almost impossible to supersize something that's not a priority, right? So, talked about that. That's it. If I can help you anyway, ask me. Summer, great. My favorite season, right? Summer is my favorite season. And so lots of activity, lots of things going on here. If I can help you, hit me up. Remember, you can always box for me at pajamagrandma@gmail.com, or you can search me out and send me a message, and I will answer a question if you've got it. If it's longer than I could answer it in Voxer, which I can usually talk 5 minutes on Voxer, no problem. And I can share a lot of information in 5 minutes. But if it's longer than that, we can always set up a time to chat, right? All right, have a great day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.